But for more on this, we're joined live by academic Tahir Kilavuz from Indiana. Thank you very much for joining us on TRT World, Tahir. So why has the Chief of Staff chosen to take this decision now? I mean, as some might argue that Bouteflika has been unfit for many years. He's rarely been seen in public. His health hasn't been so well.
So, as we know, since the beginning of the process, the Algerian regime tried to find a solution to continue with Bouteflika in order to provide status quo. However, in every step, they have seen that people will not accept this, which is why first Bouteflika gave some concessions, and then he made a statement explaining that he's not running for the 5th term, but prolonging his 4th term. But the protest continued, and probably the regime saw at the end that this is not possible to continue with Bouteflika. And in the last couple of days, we have seen from some of the components of the Algerian regime to take the support away from Bouteflika, especially the two regime parties, FLN and RND. Some of the statements coming from these parties showed that the support for Bouteflika's presidency and the prolongation of the 4th term is declining. And I think after all these things, the military, the most powerful component of the Algerian regime, realized that it is not really possible to continue with Bouteflika. And this is the last step of certain strategies that the regime tried.
Yes, Tahir. So since it's the army chief declaring his removal, Bouteflika's, is this a kind of a soft coup, as some have interpreted?
Well, in plain technical terms, we may call this a coup or a constitutional coup if this happens before the end of Bouteflika's term, which is April 28th. However, at this point, these are just technicalities. There is a constitutional aspect of this decision, but constitutionally, the decision should first come from the Constitutional Council and then from the parliament, not from the military. So with the military's involvement, it is possible to call it a constitutional coup. But again, this is a technicality. The important thing is the military is making a power play in order to keep the regime intact and probably to sidetrack the opposition initiatives to continue for a full transition.
Well, thank you very much for that. And that was Tahir Kilavuz reporting on the latest in Algeria about Bouteflika's, the army chief declaring his removal.